Wake Me Up After the Apocalypse by Evil Goo. Chapter 13, Dreams and Nightmares. Year 3, Day 32. Luffy always used to say the past didn't matter. I don't believe he cared to think much of the future, either. Oh, he thought about goals. Being the Pirate King, defeating this enemy, saving that princess. Goals are great, but that's not the same thing as dwelling on the future. He never thought about the what-ifs or how to spend the time in between each goal. Luffy was like a butterfly, flitting from one brief goal to another constantly, living only in the present. I think if I ever asked him what he would do after becoming the king of the pirates, he would probably call me stupid and not answer. I used to think I could never live like that. Usopp once told me that he was constantly weighing the what-ifs. He lived every day calculating tomorrow. He knew exactly what he would do after our journey was done. I did too. We were probably the only ones on the crew that thought that way, which made sense. It gives you a sense of security, especially if you are a small fish in a big pond, to have a clear plan for what comes next. It's a comfort. A goal is singular. The time before and after achieving it still matters. For powerhouses like Luffy and Zoro, they could just live it with no thought. For me, it was different. I needed a clear route, always. And now, I can't visualize a future. All I can hope for, day by day, is that when I do die, it's an honorable death. I won't let the plant get me. I won't become its slave. All I ever wanted was to live free. I give up. I can't stop putting my feelings into words, so I officially declare this to be a diary. I thought you said that boy was a coward. Huh? Nami very eloquently replied, lost in thought as she ate her lunch, sitting on the bench in the observation deck's courtyard. Lunch was not a communal event. Ben usually made brown bag meals for everyone to pick up when they were able. Depending on how the day's duties shook out, everyone tended to eat at different times, and Ben had other things to do than hang out in the kitchen 24/7. Your nakama from Boyne. You said he was kind of cowardly? Yeah, well, he is. It's sometimes annoying and sometimes an endearing personality quirk. Zifa laughed, throwing her head back as she took a seat by Nami, which seemed like a little much. Was it really that funny? He almost started a fight with Dion, the woman said jocosely, crossing one work boot over the other at the ankles in a rather demure fashion. Usopp starting a fight? Nami knew the satisfaction of kicking Dion around once or twice herself. Not that that amounted to much, being that the guy was huge. But Usopp usually didn't get angry enough to resort to violence with petty squabbles. He would more often yell and throw insults in retaliation than try to throw down. Unless, of course, someone attacked one of their ranks, especially Luffy. Make fun of the dreams of their nakama, and there wasn't one of them that wouldn't take it seriously. She shook her head. What had that fool Colossus said to make Usopp want to challenge him? Well, then he had a good reason. I didn't say he didn't. Zifa unwrapped her sandwich, taking a big bite, one hand to her mouth as she ate, thoughtfully. The minute she swallowed down her food, she added, I think it was about you. Nami rolled her eyes. Zifa thought every bit of drama on the island had to do with her. She liked to stir the pot now and then, and always seemed to have a vested interest in hooking Nami up with, well, anyone. Nami was not interested in her help in the matter, thanks, so much. Even at the end of the world, she had standards. It was not about me. I'll bet you a pack of gum it was. In the current era, this was a rather high-stakes bet. No way. Okay, it could have been about me. Aha! but only because Dion thinks with his dick and may have said something untoward. Probably should have warned Usopp. Zifa hummed, pleased. You put them together on purpose. Stir the pot. See? I may have. Oh, come on, Nami. Maybe Dion said something like, "Hey, that Nami's got tits you could bounce a coin off of." She made a little puppet with one hand, opening and closing her palm like a flapping mouth as she spoke. Nami frowned, eyes narrowing at the eerily accurate impression. And your boy's like, "Back off, jerk. That's my hot friend you're talking about." The other puppet danced around in a very creepily not accurate impression, and Nami could not imagine what Zifa was trying to pantomime with the added gesture. Oh dear God. Please stop. You're such an embarrassment. And then Dion was like, "Oh yeah? What are you gonna do about it?" And then Mr. Longnose was like, "I'm gonna beat you up and then go kiss her and stuff." I hate you so much. She then proceeded to have the two hands squished together in what Nami could only imagine was a kiss. Apparently the characters had changed. She assumed. Why, Zifa? Why? Why what? She asked, innocently, her puppet hands still making out. You need a more open mind. I've tried to fix you up with just about everyone on this cloud. Why are you like this? Why push this? Can't you choose your battles better? You're blushing. Right, because you're talking about my crewmate. It's freaking me out, so knock it off. Yes, ma'am, Zifa replied with a little salute, continuing to attack her sandwich with gusto, only the faint ghost of a smirk on her lips. Nami shook her head, flustered and rethinking her choice of lunch buddies. Is it 'cause he's not handsome? Because there's not a lot of that going around, you know. I got the only cute one. He's mine. It had not ended at lunch. Nami was watering the crops now, sending delicate rain clouds over each individual field and soaking the ground gently. Zifa, under the guise of supervision, was being casually relentless. Though you did have that cute little crush on the doctor a long way back, Nami whirled, allowing the start of a new rain cloud to dissipate. We don't talk about that, she hissed, wagging a finger in a very disapproving way. Not ever, never, not once, you promised. Hands raised up in defense and eyes wide in mock fear, Zifa backed up, obviously fighting a grin. So, do you not find him handsome? The coward, I mean. Nami was conjuring up another cloud, speedy bubbles exiting her climate act, right over Zifa. Whoa, hey, come on. Answer one, just one question, and I'll drop it. You won't. You're not capable, and you don't get it. Why? Do you think he's not handsome? Nami let the rain fall, and Zifa jumped very quickly under the sheltering roof of a nearby shed, screaming. Nami, who had miscalculated and was now also wet and extremely grumpy, joined her. With a squish of wet fabric, she crossed her arms, pouting only slightly. I care about the people here, Zifa, but my crew, they're something different. They're special. Usopp is Usopp, and I don't want you to try to look for things that aren't there. He's going through a lot right now. This is all new. Zifa was nodding along in understanding, looking properly chastised, but Nami was just waiting for the shoe to drop. Sure enough, she opened her mouth, a hand raised as if in for permission, but not bothering to wait to obtain it. Okay, so you see him like a brother then? Your crew is your family. Nami opened her mouth to say yes, and clamped it shut. No, not like a brother, Zifa asked, something in her eyes making Nami slouch, losing steam. Do you want these crops watered? Ideally, yeah. Then I'm gonna need you to leave me the hell alone for a while. So, interesting first day? Nami asked at dinner, far too casually. His eyes widened, and she saw the thought running through his mind. She knew. Am I in some kind of trouble now? I'm a little unsure of the rules here, but if you don't do your job, do you, lose a decorative plant each time or something? There's no money. Ha! She banged the table with an open palm. We've never run into any issues before, but I like the idea. And no, why would you be in trouble? What the hell happened anyway? She asked the last casually. She did not put any stock in Zifa's interpretation of events, but she was a bit curious. Maybe it would give her an excuse to make Dion do double shifts on the next island. Nothing. Don't worry about it. Very suspicious. The way he was sweating now? Suspicious. Uh-huh. But, just throwing it out there, it might be a little awkward to get Dion to talk to us about the dream world I was in. Oh, hell no. I don't care what happened. I can threaten him until he talks if I need to. I believe you. You are very scary. We should be in South Blue in a couple days, if the wind stays good. She transitioned smoothly, not sure why hearing him say that made her feel so proud. It wasn't that she liked being viewed as scary, but it also wasn't like he meant scary in a negative way. He made it sound like a badge of honor, and she rather liked wearing it. Anything you need that we haven't found in storage? That wasn't how requisitions worked. But if he needed supplies to upgrade her Climatact or his Kabuto, she wasn't afraid to abuse her power to try to find it. Well, he muttered, stabbing a cube of potato that was entirely too big for one bite and shoving it in his mouth, not letting it stop him from continuing to talk. I don't suppose we'll find any more dials lying about. Sometimes you can find them in shops in big cities. Of course, few people know exactly what they were, so sometimes you could get a really good deal. But still, Usopp, we're on a sky island. Yeah? Oh, can we go to Skypiea? We can go to the White Sea, eventually. We tried Skypiea. They are one of the few places still safe, last we checked, and they are not allowing visitors. Seems wise. Yeah, Saboti is another safe zone, in theory. It's full of murderous pirates and marines, though, so we've avoided it for a while. Okay. So, the vines are not actually everywhere, then. Maybe our nakama. Maybe, but it's very unlikely. I would say that 99% of the globe is completely covered. The only exceptions are the islands in the sky and the one island where coating is produced. The plant hates the coating. It can't seem to grow on it. Interesting. So if a person could cover themselves with the stuff, they'd be safe, right? Yeah, but like I said, it's only available in one place. We're running low on it here. Usopp looked thoughtful, a hand to his chin as he muttered to himself, his other hand tapping on the table, and something hopeful inside Nami warmed her thoroughly at the sight. It was just like the old days. He was going to make something. It would probably be something super useful, but appear super ridiculous at first glance. She couldn't wait to see what it would be. Oh, so that's how it is then. Gonna sick the banshee on me, huh? Usopp frowned, choosing not to reply. This was definitely a bad idea. But they needed answers. Usopp needed answers. If it weren't for his own burning curiosity about the other world, that felt so real, he would have let Nami handle this on her own. Then again, given certain comments the guy made, maybe it was better if Usopp was there either way. Nami could stand up for herself, but the point was that she shouldn't have to. Not if she had a nakama nearby. Turned out there was no great secret regarding where each person on the island lived, and to keep their mission a little less public, who would believe that Usopp could coincidentally know so many things he had no business knowing? Better to have answers before the new guy looked crazy. Nami brought him right to Dion's house after everyone had settled in for the evening. No, he didn't. Why? Guilty conscience, Dion. The fishman snorted derisively, shooting Usopp an unsure look, but stepping aside and allowing the demanding woman inside. When Usopp passed the tall man, he tried his best not to look freaked out at the proximity. He was absolutely sure he would have had his ass handed to him had he actually hit the guy earlier, and scooted through just a bit faster. "So," Dion began, "I have to admit, I'm a bit surprised, bro. I assumed you'd go running to Nami to let her know what a great guy you are. I figured that's why you made things all awkward back there." Nami raised a brow, staring at Usopp. He resolutely looked away. Honestly, he didn't really want her to know about it. She didn't need to hear Dion's insinuations and insults, especially from Usopp's mouth. Not interested. Usopp doesn't need to go ratting on you to earn my respect. He's already earned it 100 times over before I ever met you, Dion. And on that note, I've met you, Dion. Just about anyone would find a prolonged conversation with you about me awkward. She sighed, spreading her arms out in a general gesture of annoyance. And yet, here I am. Here you are. Why? Usopp shook himself a bit from the strange state her words had put him in. He recognized he had won some kind of trophy without realizing he was entering a competition. He felt a lot of pride in all of his nakama. But as someone with pretty low self-esteem, it was nice to hear the feeling was mutual. We're here to talk to you about your time in the Redvine. Actually, we're also here to talk about my time in the Redvine. Our mutual time in the, Redvine. Whatever Dion had been expecting, that was not it. His gaze passed incredulously from Nami and back to Usopp. He let out a long breath, swinging the door shut behind them. "Well, take a fucking seat. It's gonna be a long night." The two tentatively sat on the sofa in the fishman's little cottage, so similar to Usopp's, but much better furnished. Dion chose to sit on a suspicious box labeled Magazines Private, winked at Nami, and added, "Course, if you get too tired over the course of the conversation and you can't make it all the way back to your shack, you're welcome to spend the whole night here with me, doll. I can kill you with a gesture or two of my Climatact. You know that, right? We all gotta die someday. Now, what the hell do you two need to know?" Nami glared, but continued very smoothly despite her annoyance. Usopp knows things he shouldn't know. That definitely did not explain anything, so Usopp jumped in to helpfully add, "I might be psychic." "I see," Dion replied, crossing his arms with a very grave expression. "Would any of these visions show you if Nami is getting busy with our resident doctor? Because if I could at least know that much, maybe it would give me some vicarious peace." God, the guy really had a one-track mind. And what was with the insinuations about Nami and Law, anyway? Was it because they were both objectively hot people? Or did Dion actually know something? His nakama's sex life, or lack thereof, was not his business, or this creep's. "Just knock it off. Look, I lived for several months in the world the plant made in my mind. Nami says it's all a hallucination, but if so, it's a pretty damn convincing one. I knew about things from my time there that I could not possibly have known about unless something about my experience was, well, real." "Not real," Nami interrupted, annoyed. "It's not real. Let's get that down real quick." "No, I mean, I get it, but Nami, it felt real. In a lot of ways, it felt more real than this place." He wasn't sure why, but he knew he had said something wrong by the look on Nami's face. She had scooted forward on the sofa, perched, her mouth tugging down into an unimpressed frown. But it was true, wasn't it? Nami had never experienced it. She'd been free from the plant from the beginning. She had been there at the beginning of the horror, lived and grew with the coming end of days. She'd been through hardships, he knew that, and she had grown used to the world the way it was. He didn't believe she found it easy to live here like this. He knew she had suffered a lot. She had seemed so relieved to have him with her, and he completely understood the feeling. She had been all alone, without her crew. But not long ago, Usopp had had just the opposite. He had had them all. Everyone, even Nami, working towards a goal, laughing whenever they could, smiling encouragements, fighting for each other. And now, very suddenly, he was ripped from them all. Except, of course, for Nami. It wasn't fair. It was jarring and disorienting in a way that he knew she just didn't quite get. "What?" he asked, indignant. She shook her head, and he knew he was really in trouble then. If Nami didn't yell at you, but seeped in it instead, it just meant she was planning an unholy tirade at another time. It meant she needed time to prepare the epic beatdown that would accompany her sharp words. Oh boy. "So, you're asking if I had anything like that?" Dion scratched at his bald head with webbed fingers, perplexed. "I mean, in my dream I was, He had a look on his face that seemed very uncharacteristically severe, a deep breath being released from his nose. "I haven't told anyone about this, so you both better not blab. I don't need anyone on this island looking down on me." Usopp tried to catch Nami's eye, but she was being huffy, arms crossed as she kept her eyes trained on the fishman. She nodded. "The reason you found me on the roof of that military installation was, well, I was captured by slavers a few days before the Redvine attacked. I managed to escape and find my way to a marine vessel. The slave traders," he cracked his knuckles ominously, "they contacted the ship when it all shook out, and I was treated like stolen property. They put me in a cage at their headquarters, waiting for the slavers to come collect me. I'm guessing they were being paid off, fuckers." He spit on the last word, and Usopp didn't really blame him. Usopp already had plenty of reasons to hate and fear the government. The slave trade they saw in Saboti was just one more atrocity added to the list. "Sounds like you may have had a nice dream, eh, bro? My dream was hell. I'm guessing I ran from that plant as the compound descended into an absolute shit show. But I don't actually remember that. I must have escaped and crawled up to the roof thinking I was safe. But really, I was just trapped. The thing could have got me when I fell asleep for all I knew. And then everything must have rewound itself, so I didn't remember anything about the Redvine attack. Tell me, bro, do you actually remember the Redvine getting to you? Do you remember fighting it? Trying to escape? The spores paralyzing you and sending you into a coma? No, I just remember my training with Heracles on Boyne, which is where we found you. Yeah, I figured. Usopp had his weapon in hand. He fought it, Nami replied, sounding just a tad defensive, and Usopp couldn't possibly fathom why. She was tense, on edge. Sure, sweet thing, but that's not what I'm trying to say. If we don't remember being taken, then it goes all smooth like, right? It just feels real. Just another day, and another, and another. Days and days of whatever you were doing on Boyne. For me, it was days and days of being a slave in Mary Jo's. They all got very quiet at that. But Usopp used the silence to think. Why give one person a nightmare? In fact, even Usopp's journey with his friends wasn't some perfect adventure. He faced adversity too. Dressrosa almost died. Fishman Island almost drowned. Zoe almost lost their crew member and had to split up. Why, if the goal is to keep you sleeping peacefully and complacent, would it provide problematic dreams? In fact, if the spores kept them asleep, then why did they dream at all? What was the point?